All right, our next storyteller is Brad Wendt. He is a traveler, paddler, camper, railroad buff, frisbee thrower, hiker, and bicycle rider. And all of these adventures make for good stories. So come on up, Brad.
First time.
His first time on this stage.
Yep.
Albert Einstein said, what does he say?
Life is like
Life is like riding a bicycle. To keep your balance, you must stay in motion. I'm 3 years old, and I'm gonna ride my tricycle around the block. In order to make it all the way around the block, it was a decent sized block, I had to cross the Chicago Northwestern Railroad tracks twice. No problem. I make it all the way around the block without stopping. I park my tricycle in the yard, in the front yard, and I walk in the front door, and almost immediately, there's a knock on the door. I answered the door. This was early 60s, kids did that. There's two men dressed in bib overalls and train hats. Are your parents home? Mom, there's two railroad guys here at the door. They want to talk to you. So they come in the house. One of them says, we need your help. We followed your son all the way to his house here because we have a problem. We would like you, Mom, to teach your son how to stop for trains. And he proceeded to say, he never even thought about stopping. We stopped for him. And I wonder why I like trains. Now I'm 7 years old, and I get a brand new, shiny red, kick-back brake, single-speed Schwinn bicycle. I'm a happy camper. So Mom says, I'm gonna get dinner ready. You have time to ride around the block. I'm like, okay. I hop on my bike, I ride around the block. I get back to the yard, and my sister's in the yard saying, one more lap and you gotta come in for dinner. I keep riding. I never even stopped for that. I go all the way around the block. I get back to the house and I said, another lap around the block. Can't. Another ride around the block. Stop! And I kept going. I don't want to stop. One more lap around I go, and I think I'm not going to stop then. I turn the corner, I see the backyard, and in the alley is my sister, my mom, and my dad. I have to stop. Now I'm 9 years old. I still got my bike, still in perfect shape. Mom comes in to me and says, you know, you can ride your bicycle to your cousin's house if you want. I go, yeah, cool. My cousin lived about 8.5 blocks away, and I often visited there, but I never rode my bike there. 2 blocks away from the house is a strip mall with a nice new flat blacktop driveway or parking lot. When I got there, It's empty. No cars, no people. So I get this idea. What would happen if I stick my foot in the front tire while I'm riding? I'm smart enough to know that that could turn out bad. I got to do it anyway. So I just went really slow. Stuck my foot right in the spokes. Head over tea kettle. Soon I find myself on the blacktop under my red bicycle. I'm not hurt at all. I'm laying down there under my bike, thinking and looking. I hope somebody saw that. Because it must have looked really silly. So now, a couple years later, Mom and Dad come and talk to my sister and I, and they say, we're gonna go away for the weekend. How would you like to ride your bicycles to Grandma's house? Yeah. So the time comes, we're on our way to Grandma's house. Grandma lives way on the north side of town. There's town, her house, and the woods. Halfway to Grandma's house, we live on the south side of town. Halfway to Grandma's house is a boy blue soft serve ice cream shop. Of course, we stop. And of course, I'm gonna take advantage of no parents. I'm getting a large. We get our ice cream cones. We get back on our bicycles. One hand on the handlebar and a cone in the other. Right past the ice cream shop is the Sioux Line Railroad. I hit the first rail and I've got a cone. The ice cream is on the railroad tracks. I must have looked super disappointed because my sister looks back at me and says, let's go back to the store and see if they'll give you another ice cream cone. I'm like, yeah. So we go in. They had seen the whole thing. Naturally, I got a new ice cream cone. We learned that if we want to eat this new ice cream cone and my sister eat hers, we better not get back on our bicycles. We didn't. We ate the ice cream cones and then off to Grandma's. Now, I'm an adult. I'm a dad, I'm married, it's Karen. We have 3 kids ranging from age 12 or 13 to 7.
One of them is back here.
We all have our own bicycle. This time, we're gonna ride from Madison all the way to Waukesha to visit Grandpa. We're gonna do it in 2 days. We have maybe 5 or 6 miles from Madison that we have to ride on Highway BB, a highway, with 3 kids. And we handle that like nothing. We get to the Glacial Drummond Rails to Trail, the old Chicago Northwestern roadbed. And now we have to give Woody rules. He's the youngest. He's 7 years old. He's riding a tall handlebar, banana seat, blue Stingray, single speed kickback brakes. But he's gonna ride faster than any of us. So his rule was, you can ride as far from us as long as you can see us. When you get to a street or a road, you stop and wait till we get there or ride back to us. But he did a lot of bouncing between rows of us.
Yeah.
So now we're on the trail. We're comfortably riding on the trail. We're still pretty excited. We still have quite a ways to go to get to Lake Mills. But there's a Wendt weakness, a raspberry patch. I'm not sure if we jumped off our bikes or fell off our bikes, but we got into that raspberry patch rather quickly. We have our fill. We get back on our bicycles, comfortably riding. Guess what? We find another patch of raspberries, but only this time they're as big as your thumb. You can't pass that up. The Wendts can't pass that up. We didn't pass it up. I don't think we hurt ourselves getting off of our bicycles that time, though. We glom them down. And now I'm thinking to myself, oh man, we better get moving. We got to keep moving. We got to get to Lake Mills before dark. We get on our bikes. Again, we're cruising, starting to get comfortable, and you'll never guess what we see.
No way.
No, it wasn't red raspberries. Black raspberries. Big as your thumb. Again, we can't help it. We stop. But now, I gotta be the dad and the smart guy, the guy that's learned from experience. I said, we gotta get back on our bikes and get moving. We don't wanna be driving in the dark. No bicycle in the dark. I mean, we all had lights, we were ready for it, but we don't need that. Life is like riding a bicycle. But there's smart times to stop. But in order to keep your balance, you gotta stay in motion.
Thank you so much, Brad. I love that metaphor about having to stay in motion to keep your balance and also just to keep going through life. So our final storyteller for tonight is Misty Sunshine. She has been storytelling with her family and on her own for a little over 25 years. She speaks Spanish, French, and Haitian Creole fluently and dabbles in other languages. She is a nurse, loves to travel, write, and volunteer locally and abroad doing mission trips. She has lived as far south as Florida and as far northeast as Massachusetts, but currently resides in Wisconsin. Misty has a few short and sweet pieces for us to close out the evening. Come on up, Misty.
Is it okay if I take this off?
Yeah. Do you want my help? Hang on, I'm coming.
I think I got it.
You got it? Okay.
She's got it. You can go.
She's a pro.
All right, so I'm going to start off with a poem and a little song and then a story that maybe all of you know. And this is a poem. This goes way back. I wrote as a teenager. And it was about somebody looking for their way and maybe being a little bit lost, but then finding somebody wise and getting a little bit of direction. And it's called The Yellow Brick Road to Neverland. Young Mr. Stuff is off to seek his fortune and fame. He's smart, he's sharp, he ain't playing no games. He packs up his suitcase and he's off down the road. Because at the end of his rainbow is his pot of gold. You see, he spits in his hands, shines up his shoes. He straightens his tie and hairsprays his do. He's cool, he's confident, he's got attitude. He sees Mr. Wise and says, "How do you do?" Says Mr. Wise, "Hey, where are you off to?" Well, tapping his head, Stuff says, "I got a plan. I ain't no fool, Mr. Wise. I'm off to Neverland." Mr. Wise said, wait. Where are you going? Mr. Stuff said, "Ain't you heard a word I said? I'm about to tap my heels twice and then I'll be home. Here, I got my magic carpet, just in case, he said. Mr. Wise started laughing. He couldn't give no answer. He fell down to the floor in convulsions of laughter. Mr. Stuff, don't let your brain go on. You're gonna tap your heels twice, and then you'll be home. You see, the road, I've been down it once. I say, I've been down it twice. Well, Mr. Stuff trying to keep cool with all of his might, but he just couldn't help it. He bust out, what are you talking? This has been my dream my whole life, and on this road I'm walking. Well, said Mr. Wise, well, you'll learn right soon that life is full of lessons to learn through trial and error, each one in its turn. So keep on stepping, Dorothy. Think happy thoughts, Peter Pan. You leave here a boy, but you best to come back a man. I wrote that as a teenager, and it just always stuck with me. I think just trying to like put things together in your mind and having all these ideals about the future, but not realizing like how serious life is. So that was one thing I wanted to share with you. And then today, let me see. I've heard some amazing stories today about relationships, about love, about family. And there's two things. My mom used to, when I was a kid, she used to tell me that anytime something good was going to happen, one day I guess something happened good on a Tuesday. So then anytime she would tell me like, oh, we'll go to the park, I'll say, well, or we couldn't go. I said, well, can we go on Tuesday? Or will it happen on Tuesday? So I thought that every good thing happened on a Tuesday growing up. So even if we didn't get a chance to go, I just would say, can we go on Tuesday? And then if she said, yeah, we'll go on Tuesday. That was fine. Didn't even really have to happen as long as I thought it was going to happen on Tuesday. Tuesday always just seemed to be the answer. So the other day, talking about love stories and expectations and wonderful gifts and individuals, I found this love song. I don't even sing. I write poetry, not songs. And I was like, I found this song, and I sang it to my sister, and she's like, that's so beautiful. And I thought, well, maybe this would be a time where I could share it with all of you. And because I don't sing very well, maybe you guys could sing it with me. So the chorus goes like this. I made a list and you checked the boxes, but the one on the top is still looking for crosses. Can you try that? I made a list and you checked the boxes, but the one on the top is still looking for crosses. I like that. All right. Let's see if I can remember this song. I made a list and you checked the boxes, but the one on the top is still looking for crosses. The target is moving and dancing in crosshairs. Try to keep it in focus with eyes on horizons. Well, I missed the shot that comes once in a lifetime. 'Cause I made a list and you checked the boxes, but the one on the top is still looking for crosses. 10 days ago, I sat down to pray. I guess he does listen to the words that I say. If it's superstition, then I'm nobody's Christian. I guess good things only happen on Tuesdays. I guess good things only happen on Tuesdays. 'Cause I made a list and you checked the boxes, but the one on the top is still looking for crosses. Thank you very much, and thanks for all of your help. So now talking about not only relationships and love and stories about relationships and love, there's a book that I listened to recently with my nephew, Benjamin, and I had never heard or read the book before, but a lot of you here have. And it's a book by Robert Munsch, who happens to be an author of so many amazing other books, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't know about this one. And it's called The Paper Bag Princess. Oh, how do you know this? So I've fallen in love with this and I wanted to share a rendition with you all. So I'll ask a question. Janelle, can you give me the name of a really great place to shop? For clothes. For clothes. Anywhere. State Street? All right, I'll remember State Street. If I forget State Street, remember State Street. I need somebody else to tell me a really great brand of shoes.
Skechers.
Skechers. Anybody else? Skechers?
Made of earth.
Made of earth.
Native earth.
Native Earth. State Street. Native Earth. Remember this. State Street. Native Earth. Now I want a really good men's cologne. A really good men's cologne.
You came to the wrong audience.
Dracar Noir.
Dracar Noir.
Dracar Noir.
Say it one more time for me.
Dracar Noir.
Dracar Noir.
There you go.
State Street.
Native Earth.
Native Earth.
Dracar Noir.
Dracar Noir. All right, you guys are going to help me with this. So remember all that. The paper bag princess. Once upon a time, and let's just pretend that time is kind of now, it's kind of then, it's kind of now too. So once upon a time-ish now, there was Princess Elizabeth, and Princess Elizabeth and Ron were betrothed. They were gonna get married, and that was so fantastic, but sadly, a dragon came and blew down everything and destroyed Elizabeth's castle and blew up with his fiery breath, burnt up all of her clothes, all of her shoes. There was nothing left for her to wear. And then he took Ron to his lair for dinner.
Oh.
Well, then what was Elizabeth gonna do? She was like, I gotta go save Ron. And so she looked for some clothes because all of her clothes were burnt up. And so she found a paper bag. That's all that she found. And she put that paper bag off and she was like, I'm gonna go save my man. And so she put that paper bag on and then she went to the dragon's lair, but she was like, wait a minute, I need a GPS. It's nowadays, So she looked up, okay, let's see. Dragon's lair, hang on, dragon's lair. Okay, I'll put it in there. All right.
Proceed to West James Street.
All right. Here we go. All right, Dragon's Lair. Okay, so she gets there to the Dragon's Lair with her GPS and she finds it. All right, she gets it. She's like, all right, let me get there. And then there's a big door, right? There's a big door. But, people nowadays, we don't knock on doors, right? What is it? Right? She pushes the doorbell and she looks into the camera. It's me. Well, the dragon comes and he's like, hey, I'm too full to eat you. I've already burnt up so many towns in this area. I'm kind of full. I don't want to eat you today. And she says, oh, no, but I just want to tell you that I heard that you're just so mighty that with one big breath, you could blow down a whole city. And he said, oh, yeah, I can do that. So he took a deep breath. And sure enough, he blew down a whole city. And she goes, oh, can you do that again? And he said, uh-huh. And blew down a whole nother city. And then he took another deep breath. He had no more fire left. Nothing. And so then she said, I heard that you can fly around the world in 5 seconds. And he said, yeah, I can do that. And so he flew around the world. I can do it. And she said, oh, can you? Can you do it again? And he said, yeah, I can do it again. Just watch. See? I can fly around the world in 5 seconds. And he laid down and he fell asleep because he was so tired. And what happens when we fall asleep? How does it sound? How does it sound? But you see, this dragon, he got that checked out and realized that he had sleep apnea, and so he had a CPAP on, and so it sounded more like, can we do that? Yes, he had CPAP on, that was good for his health. And so he was fast asleep, he was out. And so Elizabeth went over and she said, do you guys know this part? Oh, dragon. Nothing. He was fast asleep, so she tried again. Oh, dragon. But still nothing. So she lifted up his dragon ear, stuck her head inside, got real deep in that ear, just like that, and said in a really loud voice, oh, dragon! Nothing. That dragon didn't even budge. And so Elizabeth ran over and she went to go save Ron and she said, Ron! And Ron said, Elizabeth! Elizabeth? He said, you have your clothes, you don't have any clothes, you have a paper bag on, your hair is all singed, and you smell like a dragon's ear. Come back and save me when you look like a princess.
Oh, how rude.
Oh. Elizabeth looked at Ron and she said, Ron, you look like you shop at State Street. You wear shoes from Native Earth and you smell like
Dragon Noir.
But you, Ron, are a bum. And Ron and Elizabeth didn't get married anyways. The end. At the end, but that story has so many morals, and one moral is this, of it is in Haitian Creole. It's called "Sel pavant de tetli dil salé," which means salt doesn't need anything to prove it's salty. So in this instance, you don't need fancy things, fancy shoes, good smelling cologne, because it's not about how we present ourselves or what's on the outside, but what's really on the inside, and that's enough.
Yeah,
Thank you so much, Misty. That is one of my favorite children's books. And also the good stuff happening on Tuesdays reminds me of the time that I was driving in the car and turned left, and then I was like, oh no, that was the wrong way. And then every time after that, when I turned left, my daughter was like, don't go left, it's the wrong way. So I want to thank all of our storytellers tonight. We had Coral and Kay and Paul and Brad and Misty. And you can start making your way back up here. And thank you for me. And I'm going to hand it back over to Karen.
okay.
Right. There they are.
Good rendition. I just learned about that story too. I'm gonna show you.
There they are. So let's see, who's got great cameras out there that can take me a horizontal picture? Thank you. All right, fantastic. So everybody look at Coral's friend or sister. Coral's sister, right there. Yeah, and I'm coming in for one.
I'm falling.
You're falling?
Please give them all a great big hand. We got Brad, my honey, my love, my best friend, and Coral, Kay Weeden, Paul Aker, and Misty, my pseudo daughter. We are so happy that you all came tonight. Now, your job is to bring 5 people with you next year, okay? April 24th, 2027. We'll be here. Will you? Thanks, everyone.